Bifi. Pero pues, Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Very good morning to all our viewers back home, to everyone seated out here as well. Finally, day 2 in the PPL, second edition. The first encounter between the MTM Riders and the Turf Blasters. It was the Turf Blasters. They decided to build, having won the top, and they've done justice to their selection. 3 wickets down. Certainly MTM Riders behind the 8 ball at the present moment. This is superbly. Comes across as a slow wicket, but he clearly got hold of the previous one. Ambish has this habit to take it away from the bat, especially with the new. This time, terrific start here for the Turf Blasters. They couldn't have asked for a better start, having won the toss. 4 wickets down. We're just into the 5th over. Outs the line of off stump. Signalled a wide by the umpire. So Ambish is going to have to bowl that again. They're going to have to regroup the MTM Riders. They're going to have to find their mojo. It's imperative that you build partnerships. That dot completes the 5th over. 35. Sachin to bring the final over the top. Single straight away for Mino. Gives way to the new batsman and Vivek. The Turf Blasters clearly have the lead on the scoring at the present moment. 4 wickets are a little too very many to having been lost in the power play. This time they cannot afford to take any sort of risks, so all they got to do is play themselves in, find a way to rotate strike. After this over, the field restrictions will be lifted. There will be a lot more drops. That misfield might fetch them a couple of runs, and they'll get it easily in the end. Ambish will be disappointed with his fieldsman. He expects his team to always be on their A game. The last thing they want is to gift runs to their opponents who are anyway struggling to get runs. This time work. Both Minesh and Vivek have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders going ahead for the MTM Riders. The wicket comes across as a slow wicket, so it's not easy to put pace on the ball. Like we see in the last time round, good length is an area which the bowlers, especially the seam bowlers or the medium pacers, would be looking to target. Since it's a lot more difficult to get the ball away, even this length is not a bad length. That dot completes the 6th over. 38 for the loss of 4 wickets are the MTM Riders. Over to you, DJ. So it's Sahil Shah who's been brought back into the attack, trying to get attention from his third man to get a little finer. Vivek to face up. Driven away in the gap for a single. This is exactly what they'll want to do year after with these two batsmen in Minesh and Vivek. It's imperative now that they keep rotating the strike. They cannot afford to think about what's panned out. What's important is they need to play themselves in. They cannot afford to lose their wickets. They need to put a price on their wicket year after. On the other hand, the Turf Blasters know that the game is in their grasp at the present moment. All they'll want to be doing is to keep picking up wickets at regular intervals. White signalled. Clearly the plan is to bowl outside the line of off stump. You can see that the field is set on the offside. There's a long off. There's a deep sweeper on the offside. There's third man. So clearly the plan is to pitch it outside the line of off stump. A full banger. I don't think it's This is atrocious cricket from the MTM Riders. A low full toss on the line of leg stump was looking to hit it. This is superbly struck, but there is a fieldsman at long off. So Vivek gives way to the new batsman in Bhavin Salvi, who is coming at the fall of Meenesh's wicket. Probably got excited, did Meenesh. Looked to play a little too early, closed the face of the bat a little too early and paid a very heavy price. Lost his wicket in the bargain. A slip being employed for the new batsman. Clearly looks out of sorts, playing that first delivery, was in no position to play that ball. You can clearly make out the strategy, just to play the ball. He did but as you can see, the endeavour is to pitch it outside the line of off stump. Have employed a slip. Ambish seems to be moving himself into a position in the ball. Finds himself at gully. Inside edge, Chinese cut will give Bhavin his first run, and he's off the mark, up and running. 42 is where they find themselves at the end of 7, having lost 5 wickets. The MTM Riders. Over to you, DJ.
दिमाग फिरो ना
Check, check, check. Okay.
स्मिथ
So it's going to be Smith. Left arm seamer bowling over the wicket. Starts off with a ball on the pads. Will be signalled a leg by. Smith bowled some valiant overs in the first edition of the PPL for the Turf Blasters. Much better line outside line of off stump, cutting him into half, completely deceived by the bounce there, Vivek, expecting the ball to rise. On this sort of a wicket, it's important that you understand the ball's not going to bounce too much, so it's imperative that you look to play on the front foot rather than standing behind. It's important that you keep your head position a lot lower than where it is, because if you're standing upright, it's not going to make life easy for you, because the bounce will certainly get the better of you. It's going to be built like a tank. His team will want him to stay there. Senior statesman for the MTM Riders. This time played away through the offside. The variety that Turf Blasters have in their attack is clearly commendable. They have all sorts of bowlers in their arsenal. Earlier we seen Ambish roll his arm over, who is a terrific exponent of line and length, moves the new ball. This time worked to much better line. They have this time. The MTM it's imperative to give maximum strike to Vivek, who seems to be finding some form for himself. The 50 came up for the MTM Riders. 8 overs, 52. That's a lot of work done. This time, the way Vivek is batting clearly will give a lot of hope to the MTM Riders. So half a dozen followed by a boundary. 10 runs coming off the last two balls, and Vivek Dalal on fire. Sahil Shah clearly under the pump. Those two boundaries have clearly ruffled his feathers. You can see straying on the offside. Was guilty of bowling that one a little too full, and Vivek played an amazing extra cover drive. This time a lot fuller, over the top she goes, into the gap, high and handsome for four. Terrific batting here from Vivek Dalal, and the MTM Riders rejoicing out here. So Vivek fighting fire with fire, clearly on the attack, taking the attack to his opponents, telling them that I'm here still standing with the bat. This time a slow delivery, walked away into the gap she goes, running the first one hard, and has put his arms out. There was probably a second run, but probably wanting to keep strike, Vivek, which is smart cricket from him. This proved to be an extremely expensive over. 9 overs done, 16-9 for the loss of 5 are the MTM Riders. So it's going to be a smooth The MTM riders have found a way to build some momentum. Running the first one hard. Vivek looking for the second. Will get it due to the misfield out there by the fieldsman at third man. Clearly you can see the Turf Blasters have been struck hard here by the way Vivek has come out. All guns blazing. He hasn't held back. He recognizes the importance of latching on to loose deliveries and has made the most of his strengths. Comes across as a strong driver of the cricket ball. This time we'll pick up a single down to long on. So after quite some time, Bhavin will be getting strike. It's important now for Bhavin to understand his role. Clearly needs to just bat normally from here. Try and rotate the strike as much as possible. Give maximum strike to Vivek, who's looking terrific at the present moment. Outside the line of off stump. Beaten all ends up there. He's looking to hit that a little too hard. Just going underneath the bat. So missing that ball for the lack of bounce. It's hard to play square of the wicket where the ball's not bouncing. Square cut, pull shot. We're going to see them seldom. Much better delivery right up there in the block hole. Smith, whatever I remember of him in the last season, was certainly somebody who bowled some crucial overs for the Turf Blasters. Did the job for them more often than not. This time worked away. Will pick up a boundary. Will Bhavin as well. This is terrific batting from the two, and the MTM riders certainly will be breathing a sigh of relief. Smith clearly looking for the block hole. That looked a lot more closer than what the umpire reckoned. It's interesting to see what he reckons. Was it pitching outside the line of leg stump or what? Because that was right up there. That dot completes the 10th over. 76 is what the MTM riders find themselves at the loss of 5 after 10. Found their way back into the match thanks to the batting exploits of Vivek. Bhavin has chipped in with a boundary in the previous over. It's going to be the off spin of Suchit to begin the 11th over. Pushed away off the back foot for a single. This time Suchit starting off with a gentle delivery, looking to pitch it up, knows the wicket's not the best to bat on. It's a slow wicket, so the slower you bowl, it's not going to be easy for the batsman to make the pace on the ball. MTM riders will be delighted with the way things have gone in the last few overs. Having lost 5 quick wickets, they have resurrected the ship, have these two batsmen in Vivek and Bhavin. This time played away beautifully, opening the face of the bat all the way for 4. This is finesse at its best. Bhavin picks up his second boundary, and clearly they're getting a move on, these two. This is why we watch cricket, the ebbs and flows that the game goes through. You can clearly see that the Turf Blasters suddenly now under some pressure. They know that they're going to have to break this partnership, or else this partnership seems threatening to take the match away from them. They had the match in their grasp. This time cut away off the back foot. There is a fieldsman in the deep who will keep it down to a single. So suddenly Bhavin has found his straps, much to the delight of the MTM riders. They'll be hoping now that this partnership continues, because the last thing they'd want is for one of them this time worked away. There is a fieldsman in the deep, and a poor shot, but the fieldsman in the deep misjudged it, and Vivek helps himself to another boundary. For they say fortune favors the brave. Wasn't the best of shots from Vivek. Whenever you chip a ball half-hearted, you want to do that in the gaps rather than to the fieldsman in the deep. 86 after the end of 11 is where the MTM riders find themselves. Just for the loss of 5 wickets, they could have clearly lost their mainstay in Vivek. Now, after this lucky escape, the MTM riders and Vivek will be hoping that the two of them, that is these two, continue. They have found a life. Vivek being dropped in the previous ball. What's worst for the Turf Blasters is that the ball trickled into the ropes. Kalash into the attack. Full banger outside the line of off stump will give him a single. Turf Blasters, it's important for them to hold their nerve. All they need to do is stick to a disciplined line and length. They seem to be trying a little too many things lately. That's much better from Kalash as well as Vivek. It's imperative that Vivek just understands how important his wicket is from here. His wicket can be the deciding factor of the match. It could either turn the match in favor of the MTM riders or might give away the match to the Turf Blasters. That depends upon how Vivek goes by his business hereafter. Clearly has looked the best of the lot, has Vivek. And the way Bhavan has also given him able support is a commendable effort from these two gentlemen. Clearly the men in blue need to understand the importance of this partnership. I'm being told these two have put on 57 in a very short while. They were down and out once upon a time, 5 wickets down for hardly 29 odd, and somehow these two have chipped in and steadied the ship for the MTM riders. All the batsmen going in here after, it's important they understand their roles. Drinks will be taken. 12 overs done and dusted with 91 for the loss of 5 are the MTM riders. Whilst the players have a drink, our DJ will entertain one. Over to you, DJ. Switch it to continue from the far end. Some extra bounce defeating Bhavan on that occasion. Getting the inside edge, but will give him the desired result. That single brings Vivek on strike. The MTM riders motoring along well thanks to this valiant partnership between the two. This time outs the line of off stump. Fuller in length, hitting the bottom of the bat. Vivek yorking himself on that occasion, just making sure that his bat is all right. This is top stuff from Suchit. Just given away 1 run in the last 4 balls he's bowled. In fact, the over comes to a close. 92, only a single yielded off the 13th over. 5 wickets down. Over to you, DJ. This is exactly what can happen to the batsman's concentration after a break. Both these two need to regroup. You can clearly see that that drinks interval has tinkered with their concentration. They seem to be suddenly struggling the last 7 balls. The last 8 balls, only a couple of runs have been added to the total. So you can clearly see that the Turf Blasters, the meeting they had in the drinks interval, Ambish would have been pegging his boys to try and string in some dot deliveries. This time fuller in length. Beaten all ends up the wicket keeper. It's going to be interesting to see the umpire signal here. 4-run signal, which means it came off the bat. So Vivek helps himself to another boundary. Fortunately this time round. Moral victory there for Kalash. Clearly Kalash looking to pitch it up. Was fortunate that Vivek hit it straight back to him. That full toss could have gone anywhere. So you can clearly see that both these two, the drinks interval hasn't done them any good. The stop and start batting methods never work when a batsman is in a zone. It's so important for him to not find a break rather. On the other hand, the drinks interval has certainly given the Turf Blasters some canning in the middle, which meant that they've pulled their straps back. They're making life tough. For these two, all of a sudden you can see there is a spring in their stride. The last 2 overs yielding nothing much. 98 is where they find themselves after the end of 14. This time banged away. There is a fieldsman at deep mid wicket who will keep it down to a single. Bhavin was being over ambitious by thinking of a couple of runs. That single will bring up the 100 for the MTM Riders. Applauded rightly so by one and all out here. They recognize the importance of this knock. Both these two have looked solid. Have resurrected the innings for the team. A close call. They had an opportunity. I believe the fieldsman was Smith, and that work by the fieldsman in the deep won't help. So 5 runs added to the total for the MTM Riders. This is sloppy cricket from the Turf Blasters. You don't want these sort of gifts to be gifted away to the opponents. They were struggling to get a move on, and it does not take time for the momentum to shift. They had the momentum with them, the Turf Blasters. They found a way to choke these two. But what that boundary will now do is it'll get these two back on track. As you can see already, they're running quick singles. Again, Turf Blasters are going to struggle from here on to keep them quite Bhavin and Vivek have looked the part for the MTM riders, this time working it on the onside. This is top stuff from the MTM riders. Clearly, there is an opportunity to go big after a few overs. This could have been a close call, so a couple of wickets could have been the case for Turf Blasters. One could have been a run out. Suchit kicks the ball in disgust, but it won't change the result. 107 is where they find themselves at the end of 15 overs. 5 wickets down. Off the back foot, they'd be targeting another 50 runs, which is very possible. If they go at 10 runs per over, they'll get to somewhere around 157. If they can go at 12s, they'll be a lot happier from here. So we're in for a big total. If these two can continue, worked away on the onside, a difficult shot to play on a slowish wicket off a left arm spinner, but Kalash is not looking to turn the ball. He's looking to fire it in. Poor shot, was well bowled, gripped in the wicket, turned as well. Beat him, all ends up. Should have looked to rather cut that ball rather than looking to pull that ball. Was expecting it to come in with the arm. This time tossed away, down to long on. The fieldsman comes around, but the ball gets to him on the bounce. Bhavan didn't quite get hold of it. That roll, better rest with Vivek, has the power to clear the fence, has already done so. This time a full banger. Nirmit comes underneath it and takes it. Vivek Dalat plays a poor shot, a full toss which he could have parked anywhere, but he mistimed it horribly, which means that the MTM riders lose their 6th and the Turf Blasters will breathe a sigh of relief. This time working it on the onside. There is a fieldsman who has misfielded, which means they get another boundary. So the MTM riders on the charge, and the turf blasters are not helping their own case with the way they're fielding at the present moment. After the end of 16 overs have now gone by, 114 is what the MTM riders have been able to fetch. 6 wickets down. Bhavin is looking good. Lost his partner Vivek, who played a valiant knock of 44 in just 33 balls. This time an outside edge, was looking to play off the back foot. There is a fieldsman, I believe it's Ambish out there. We'll keep it down to a single. So Harsh gets off the mark with that single. Bhavin will be looking to hog the strike from here. Has looked good. Is the set batsman. इस बार बैकफुट पे खेलना चाहते थे, पूरी तरीके से चूके। इस बार पूरी तरीके से टॉस किया था, इनवाइट कर रहे थे बड़ी हिट को, लेकिन नीचे से ही मारना चाहे। भाविन समझ गए कि वो चाहते हैं कि वो ऊपर से मारे। फिर से अतिरिक्त उछाल, अपनी कद का पूरा इस्तेमाल करते हुए सुचित, नए बल्लेबाज हर्ष शाह। इस बार उठा के दे मारा है फील्ड्समैन, लॉन्ग ऑफ, एक बाउंस पर कलेक्ट करेंगे, केवल एक रन अतिरिक्त जुड़ेगा। इसी सिंगल के साथ 117 पर पहुंचे हैं। केवल 3 रन आए उस 17वें ओवर से, 6 विकेटें खो चुके हैं। बहुत ही अच्छा ओवर रहा टर्फ ब्लास्टर्स के लिए। 3 ओवर आने बाकी। यहाँ से अगर आप 30 रन भी जोड़ते हो तो करीब 147 150 बन सकते हैं। उनका टारगेट जरूर ये रहेगा कि 150 160 अगर वो टच कर पाए तो और अच्छा रहेगा। विवेक कलाश इस विकेट के बाद कहीं ना कहीं एमटीएम राइडर्स की जो अंतिम टोटल होगी वो जरूर धक्का खाएगी, क्योंकि आसान नहीं है किसी नए बल्लेबाज को आते ही बड़े हिटे लगाना यहाँ पर। लेकिन हर्ष जो है लगते हैं कि आए हैं बिल्कुल लंबा हैंडल घुमाने के लिए। स्मिथ को अटैक में लाया गया है। अतिरिक्त उछाल पूरी तरीके से चूके। जब भी स्मिथ गेंदबाजी करते हैं आप ऑब्जर्व करेंगे एक पैटर्न रहता है, या तो वो गुड लेंथ को हिट करेंगे या तो यॉर्कर टारगेट करेंगे, और यही रणनीति रहती है उनकी। अब नए बल्लेबाज को आप देखेंगे कि वो गुड लेंथ पे डालने की कोशिश करेंगे, जैसे ही वो भाविन को गेंदबाजी करेंगे तो यॉर्कर प्रयास करेंगे। बहुत ही सटीक गेंदबाजी का मुआयना करते हैं स्मिथ। देखिए इस बार पूरी तरीके से चकमा दिया, ऊपर डाला ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर, और ये खराब शॉट सिलेक्शन मैं कहना चाहूंगा। जहां पर ये गेंद पॉइंट की दिशा में आप फेस खोल के मार सकते थे, वहीं पर वो फ्लिक करना चाहते थे मिड विकेट की ओर, तो कहीं ना कहीं डिसीव किया लेंथ में पूरी तरीके से स्मिथ ने नए बल्लेबाज हर्ष को। इस बार अतिरिक्त उछाल मिलता हुआ आप देखेंगे कि जैसे ही विकेट गिरती है वहीं पर मुश्किलें पैदा होती है बैटिंग साइड को, और आसान नहीं होता उनके लिए कि वो स्ट्राइक कंटिन्यूसली रोटेट कर पाए। वहीं पर अगर विवेक अभी खड़े रहते तो डेफिनेटली 20-25 रन और जुड़ सकते थे एमटीएम राइडर्स के अंतिम टोटल पर। आप देखेंगे कि पिछले ओवर में केवल 3 रन आए। इस ओवर में भी ज्यादा कुछ हो नहीं पा रहा है। इसे कहते हैं विकेट्स का महत्व जो होता है वो बहुत ज्यादा होता है, इसीलिए आपको बहुत ही संभल करके अपनी पारी को आगे बढ़ाना होता है। विवेक ने, मैं मानता हूं, एक खराब शॉट खेला। उनके पास गेंद थी बड़ा हिट लगाने की, लेकिन पूरी तरीके से चूके। एक सेट बल्लेबाज से आप ये उम्मीद नहीं रखते कि वो इतने खराब गेंद पर आउट हो। वो चाहते तो वो इस गेंद को बाहर फेंक सकते थे सेंट्रल रेलवे ग्राउंड के, लेकिन उन्होंने लॉन्ग ऑन के हाथ में दे मारा। तो कहीं ना कहीं इस तरीके की क्रिकेट से आपकी टीम जो है वो मार खा जाती है। अब देखेंगे कि जहां पर चौके छक्के लगाना जरूरी है वहां पर मुश्किलें हो रही है स्ट्राइक रोटेट करने में भी। इस बार एक सिंगल लेने में कामयाब। टर्फ ब्लास्टर्स बिल्कुल कंप्लेन नहीं करेंगे इस तरीके की क्रिकेट देखकर। वो तो चाहेंगे ये कि केवल सिंगल्स आए, जो वो चाहेंगे कि चौके और छक्के की बाढ़ को वो रोक पाए। केवल 121 रन 2 ओवर आने शेष, बाकी 6 विकेटें नीचे। गेंदबाजी में परिवर्तन, अम्बीश अपने आप को लाए हैं गेंदबाजी में। इस बार मारा है मिड विकेट की दिशा में। पहला रन तेजी से भागे, दूसरा रन के लिए दौड़ते हुए और आराम से कंप्लीट कर पाएंगे। मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि खराब फील्डिंग का प्रदर्शन वहां पर, बॉल को चार्ज करके रोकना चाहिए था वहां पर। दूसरा रन, केवल 1 रन था लेकिन बॉल की ओर नहीं गए और उनकी टीम को खामियाजा भुगतना पड़ा। जहां पर केवल 1 रन था वहां 2 रन लेने में कामयाब हुए। इस बार अतिरिक्त उछाल को लेते बीट हुए, कट करना चाहते थे जोर से। इस बार बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं कर पाए उस शॉट को, लेकिन वो मिसफील्ड की बदौलत एक और रन लेने में कामयाब होंगे। देखिए, टर्फ ब्लास्टर्स के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि इस तरीके के रन वो दें नहीं, क्योंकि ये विकेट जो है वो धीमी है और यहां पर आप नहीं चाहोगे कि आप 140 से ज्यादा चेस करो। इस बार ऑन साइड पर घुमाया है, गैप में गई ये गेंद। पहला रन, तेजी से दौड़ा और चौका बटोरने में कामयाब हुए। वो देख रहे थे इसी तरीके की शॉट की और शॉर्ट गेंद का भरपूर लाभ उठाया वहां पर भावन साल्वी ने। देखिए, जैसे ही आप प्रहार करते हो एक बाउंड्री आ जाती है, बॉलर पर अधिक प्रेशर बढ़ता है, और जहां पर इतने एक्सपीरियंस्ड कैंपेनर है अम्बीश, उनसे ये ऐसी चूकों की आप उम्मीद नहीं करते, लेकिन दे से द प्रेशर गेट्स टू द बेस्ट एज वेल। अब देखिए ये ओवर थ्रो के साथ ये एक और रन, तो कहीं ना कहीं टर्फ ब्लास्टर्स जो है वो फील्ड में कहीं ना कहीं ये अपना खुद का औहदा जो है वो कम कर रहे हैं। इस तरीके की आप फील्डिंग का प्रदर्शन नहीं उम्मीद रखते हो अम्बीश की टीम से। वो बड़े हाई स्टैंडर्ड सेट करते हैं इस टूर्नामेंट में, चाहे गेंद के साथ हो, चाहे बल्ले के साथ हो, चाहे फील्ड में हो। इस बार ऑन साइड पर फिर से खींचा और एक और चौका बटोरने में कामयाब रहे। बहुत ही सुंदर बल्लेबाजी भाविन सालवी द्वारा, और पूरी तरीके से लाभ उठा रहे हैं सेट होने का। और उसी चौके के साथ साथ 19वां ओवर हुआ समाप्त। 136 6 विकेट के नुकसान पर एमटीएम राइडर्स 1 ओवर आनी शेष। आखिरी ओवर स्मिथ डालेंगे। पवेलियन छोर से आउटसाइड एज लगी, पहला रन तेजी से दौड़े, हर्ष आ रहे दूसरे रन के लिए, और ये खराब थ्रो की बदौलत 2 रन लेने में कामयाब रहेंगे। 138 रन अब जुड़ चुके हैं एमटीएम राइडर्स की। टोटल में 5 गेंदे आनी बाकी है। वो चाहेंगे कि 150 का आंकड़ा जो है वो छू सके। अब देखना होगा किस तरीके की रणनीति अपनाते हैं स्मिथ। इस बार गुड लेंथ पे डाली गई, पूरी तरीके से चकमा दिया, लेकिन विकेट कीपर ने खासा मददगार नहीं रहा। उनकी कीपिंग बाइज मिलेंगे, जैसे भी आए एमटीएम राइडर्स कंप्लेन नहीं करेंगे। और एक और चौके के साथ ही 150 के करीब आते हुए एमटीएम राइडर्स। इस बार वाइड करार दिया जाएगा, बाय भी चुरा लेंगे साथ ही साथ में। ये बहुत ही अच्छी अंडरस्टैंडिंग दोनों के बीच में, और बिल्कुल भाविन जो है अलर्ट थे। ऐसा लगता है कि गेंद छू गई थाई पैड या ट्राउजर को, और इस वजह से वाइड नहीं है और रन भी नहीं मिलेगा। इस बार बहुत ही खूबसूरती से काव किया है फील्ड्समैन वहां पर। बहुत ही अच्छी फील्डिंग का मुआयना। 2 रन जरूर बचाया उन्होंने अपने साइड के लिए। 2 गेंदे आने बाकी अब। 144, 2 गेंदे आनी बाकी है। हर्ष स्ट्राइक पर, स्मिथ जो है कहीं ना कहीं अभी शॉट ऑफ गुड लेंथ करने की प्रयास कर रहे हैं। इस बार ऊपर डाली हुई गेंद जहां होना चाहिए। आप डेथ में चाहते हो कि आप जितनी हो सके यॉर्कर्स डालो, यहाँ पर रन आउट आराम से होगा और हर्ष को वापस आना पड़ेगा। तो मैं कहूँगा ये खराब रनिंग, क्योंकि आप नहीं चाहोगे कि नया बल्लेबाज जो है वो आखिरी गेंद खेले, और इसी के चलते 145 पर पहुंची एमटीएम राइडर्स और अपना 7वां विकेट खोया। उठा के दे मारा है, गेंद हवे में निर्मित, गेंद के नीचे आते हुए, लेकिन लगता है कि चौका दिया जाएगा, यानी कि 149 बना पाए एमटीएम राइडर्स। बराबर 150 रन चाहिए रहेंगे टर्फ ब्लास्टर्स को जब वो आएंगे अपनी बल्लेबाजी करने के लिए। तो ये बहुत ही अच्छी रिकवरी मैं मानता हूँ। 29 पर 5 थे, उसके बाद करीब 30 पर 6 थे और 5 थे, आई बेग यू पार्डन। लेकिन विवेक दलाल और भाविन की इस पार्टनरशिप से, जो कि भाविन नॉट आउट आते हुए, बहुत ही सम्मानजनक ये टोटल लग पड़ा है एमटीएम राइडर्स के लिए। 149 फॉर द लॉस ऑफ 7 विकेट्स। Bhavin, Vivek, top knock. I mean, 77, your partnership, you turned out not out. I mean, the way you all were at one stage, I mean, really a commendable effort.
Yeah, actually, we were actually targeting the fifth bowler. The regular bowlers, you know, the Ambish and the Suchit Bhai, they both are bowling superbly well. So we were actually behind the fifth bowler, and it paid off today.
I mean, the way you looked as well. Earlier you played the anchor role to him, but then after his wicket, you took over.
Yeah, I just played my natural cricket.
I mean, would be really satisfying. You turned out 46. Would have been better had you got those 4 runs, probably.
It's fine, whatever it is right now. Yeah. That's better. The score has been done for our team, so feeling fine.
Clearly, from where you all were, 149 would have almost been a dream from where you all actually found yourselves once upon a time.
Yeah, it's a. I mean, we were targeting actually 130 to 140, and after 15th over, we actually targeted around 150, and we reached 150. So pretty happy.
I mean, you think 150 is defendable?
Yes, we will.
I like your confidence, and terrific partnership. 77. 46 not out of 39 balls, 44 of 33. I mean, the two of you will definitely sleep well if you all can pull off this match hereafter.
Definitely, we will.
We will.
All the best. Take care. Take care. So that was Vivek and Pawan for their phenomenal partnership that resurrected the innings for the MTM Riders. Over to you, DJ.
1.
First ball starts off with a bang. Suchit using all his power and might to take that all the way for 4. So push start from Vivek. Probably all the batting he did showing in his first delivery. This time defended off the back foot, solid in defense. Vivek getting his length right. Got this exactly where he should have got the first one. Suchit took full toll of that short ball. Would certainly ease the nerves for him and his team. This is top stuff. From Vivek, a good comeback, having being hit for a boundary of the very first delivery. Worked away for a single. Suchit played that with soft hands. Wanted it to go slowly to Keyur, who was fielding at mid-on and successful in picking up that single. So 5 runs coming off the first 4 balls. Turf Blasters rely heavily on Suchit to take them off to a good start. He started off well. Would be looking forward to carry on the good work in the last match as well. Suchit starstruck for his side, as he does so very often. This time worked away on the onside, or will get off the mark straight away. Tanai getting off the mark of the very first ball. Last delivery coming up in the first over. This time square leg takes it. The big fish has to walk back, and Vivek Dalal has struck for the MTM Riders. Turf Blasters lose their first. Clearly delighted are the MTM Riders. Found a way to make 149 from being 29 for 5. It will be Smith to join Tanai. Both youngsters, it's imperative for them that they just play a normal inning to start things off. The Turf Blasters rely very heavily on Suchit to get them off to a good start, but this time round they won't have the services of Suchit with the bat. But the rest of the batsmen need to look at this as an opportunity to make a stand for themselves in the team. It's going to be Rishabh Patrawala to share the new ball with Vivek Dalal. Left arm over the wicket, worked away into the gap she goes. Will pick up a boundary, will Tanai, much to the delight of the Turf Blasters, and they'd hope that this boundary gets them up and running. Much better length, on a good length. I have been saying this again and again all tournament so far. We're into the 4th match of the tournament. Good length is where you need to be as a medium pacer. The last thing you want to do as a bowler's in line or in length. I'd like to correct myself. Like you've seen in the previous ball, the ball was bowled in the good length area, left the right hander, beat him completely. We've seen that when Smith was bowling as well. Whenever he hit a good length, he was either bringing the ball back in off the seam or taking it away, which makes it very difficult for the right hander. This time worked away on the onside, will pick up a single, Will Tanai. That single will bring Smith on strike, who himself is a left arm medium pacer. There again, he just drifted in line, bowled on the pads and paid the price. Along with length, it's so important that you bowl that off stump channel. This time looking to drive through extra. Was looking to hit the ball a little too hard, hence mistimed it, did Smith. That can tend to happen early on in your innings when you're feeling some nerves. You feel that you need to take a toll of the power play, but it's so important to try and just time the ball rather than look to hit the cover of the ball. And as I speak, over the top she goes for four. Terrific strike from Smith. Room offered there, and he accepted the invitation, did Smith. So that boundary completes the second over. 15 for the loss of 1 are the Turf Blasters. It's going to be Vivek to bowl the third over. Will continue from the pavilion end. Will be bowling to Tanay Shah. On the pads, worked away beautifully, but there is protection in the deep at deep mid wicket. Will only yield him a single. The Turf Blasters needing 150 in 20 overs. Have their works cut out. This is a slow wicket. For all those who have just joined us, at one point in time, the MTM Riders were 29 for 5. But then Vivek Dalal, the bowler who's right now bowling along with Bhavin Salvi, put up a terrific partnership of 77. Bhavin added 46. He came out not out, whilst Vivek lost his wicket for 44 of just 33 balls. That helped resurrect the innings for the MTM Riders. And they found a way to reach 46, I beg your pardon, 149. A team that finds themselves 29 for 5, it clearly is a score that they would have taken well before the match would have started. 150 on this wicket is clearly a very competitive total, because this comes across as a slow wicket. So if you can bowl a disciplined line and length, it's not going to be easy for the batsman to get runs. It's only when you gift away runs. This is superbly struck on the up. There is a fieldsman in the deep. So Smith opening his shoulders. But Vivek alert to the situation. The two fieldsmen in the deep are deep mid-wicket and a sweeper on the offside. This time we'll pick up a quick single. Will these two? That single brings the third over to an end. 20 for the loss of 1 are the Turf Blasters. Over to you, DJ. Probably would have got an inside edge. I did hear two noises, maybe even pitching out to the line of leg stump, which makes it impossible to get a leg before in your favor. Jeenan just egging his boys. He knows how important it is with the new ball. This time mid-off, misjudged it, ran in rather than going behind, which means that he's going to find the boundary, much to the delight of the Turf Blasters. Both these two now certainly putting the pedal on the accelerator. Tanay Shah. He did not get the elevation he was looking for, has neatly glided that for 4. Terrific batting here from Tanay Shah. So power accompanied with some finesse to pick up a couple of boundaries in this over. Much better line, much better length. When you have your third man up, it's so important for the bowler to bowl a stump-to-stump line. It's asking a little too much from your left-arm seamer to do. But credit must go to Tanay for the way he opened the face, found the gap between short third man and... in fact, there are two short third mans. One is a little squarer, one a little finer. This time on the onside, will go into the boundary for 4. So terrific batting here from Tanai, who's clearly getting a move on here for the Turf Blasters, and both these two looking good in the middle. This time a gentle ball, giving it some air, probably was a slower one. That dot completes the 4th over. 32 for 1 are the Turf Blasters. They've managed to keep abreast with the asking rate, 7.5 from the outside. This time carved away between point and short. Third man, in fact, 2 points, finding the gap with authority. Smith on that occasion picks himself another boundary. Smith looks very strong through that backward point region. I've seen a couple of shots through the offside, which clearly goes to suggest he loves playing through the offside. If you'll observe his stance closely, bat side on, you can see a bit of a bloop just before the bowlers coming into bowl. That sloppy work, and both these batsmen alert and awake to the situation, stealing a run. The MTM riders need to understand that they don't need to do anything silly from here. All they need to do is just bowl a disciplined line and length and make the batsmen make the runs rather than gifting away runs. Worked away on the onside, deep mid wicket giving chase, some boot work, but will pick up a couple of runs. So not the best piece of fielding by Maulik there in the deep, but somehow these two batsmen certainly transferring the pressure on the MTM riders. Remember that the Turf Blasters rely very heavily on Suchit, who was picked up in the very first over by Vivek itself. Thereafter, both these batsmen have really handled the situation brilliantly and have built on a terrific partnership. Vivek did splendidly with the bat, picked up the big fish of Suchit. Couldn't have asked for a better start for the day. This time, mid-off, diving forward, could not get to it. And Smith should pick up a couple of runs. Although there was effort in the field, but that mistimed shot from Smith was looking to probably go over the top of mid-off, but completely mistimed it. In fact, that is what saved him in the end. This time worked away gently for a single. You'll observe that Tanai does not quite take a start at the non-striking end, so he's not quite ready for these singles. But Smith calling him over. That single completes the fifth over, 43 for the loss of one. Other Turf Blasters. Over to you, DJ. By the looks of it, Keyur Zaveri being introduced into the attack. The last over of the power play to be bowled. 43 is what the Turf Blasters find themselves on. Outside the line of off stump, picking up a quick single. The wicket keeping standards have been poor on display so far today. We've seen in the first innings as well a few byes against the wicketkeeper's name. Here as well, what should have been a dot ball results in a bye being conceded. MTM Riders, they need to break this partnership. Put these youngsters looking good. Keyur Zaveri, golden arm for any side that he plays for. This time looking to bowl it a lot more faster through the air, pushing that one through, losing his line altogether. Keyur Zaveri is not the easiest bowler to get away. We seen in the first edition as well, he was the man of the series, the best batsman there. For all our viewers, he was the man of the match in the last match as well. Could have picked up a wicket there, but the fielder grasped the ball at long on, and Tanai picks up a fortunate boundary. He still lives to fight another day, but this is sloppy piece of fielding from the fieldsman at long on, letting his team down. Keyur is a very smart operator with the ball. He would be really disappointed. He came in exactly to break the partnership. The opportunity was there. Pushing it in disgust, I believe. Keyur, I know him really well. He would be feeling the heat at the present moment. Always picks up a wicket in his first over and never looks back thereafter. A Yorker to end proceedings. Tanai beaten all ends up. That dot completes the sixth over. Power play done and dusted. 49 for 1 are the Turf Blasters. Over to you, DJ. It's going to be the old war horse in Jinane to accompany Keyur. Both these two, the duo, bowl terrifically in tandem. In the last match, stifled the batsman, picked up wickets in tandem. Starts off with a loosener and latches on, does Smith Shah to bring up another boundary. The thing with the MTM riders is they bank very heavily on these two off spinners bowling in tandem. This is a phase in the game where these two batsmen, terrific work by the fieldsman at long off, clearly stopping 3 runs for his side. This is the kind of effort that lifts the spirits of the team. It's important to back your bowlers. They're bending their backs. And when they see such spirited efforts in the field, certainly it helps their morale. Jinane is an experienced campaigner. He would know that these two youngsters are looking good. This time worked away on the onside, into the gap she goes. But the boundary out there is pretty small, which means that not too many twos on offer. So either you hit it all the way for 4 or you might get a single out there. This time hit hard down to long on. Keyur will tidy up and keep it down to a single. Too many full tosses in the over so far for Jinane. He sets pretty high standards for himself. Would be disappointed with the way he's gone about his business in the first over. Has already conceded a boundary. Much better length, much better line. Single is all they'll get. Completes the 7th over. 57 for 1 are the Turf Blasters. It's going to be Keyur Zaveri to continue from the far end. Worked away through the offside for a single, using his wrist to good effect there, Tanai. Both these two are looking terrific at the crease. 77 balls, 92 runs to get. Clearly in the driver's seat at the present moment, the Turf Blasters, if they don't lose wickets from here, and if this partnership continues to swell, it is going to come back to bite the MTM riders. Out to the line of off stump, Yorker. They say catches win matches, and when you put down easy catches, like we seen one put down off the bowling of Keyur in his very first over. You don't help your cause as a fielding side. Remember, you have to pick up wickets at regular intervals. For all our viewers who have just joined us back home, when the MTM Riders were batting, remember the Turf Blasters, they won the toss, they elected to field first, they justified their selection by fielding first. They had the MTM Riders under the scuff at 29 for 5. Thereafter, Vivek Dalal and Bhavan Salvi got together, stitched up a beautiful partnership of 77, which enabled them to get to a total of 149. But when the MTM Riders came into bowl, they couldn't have asked for a better start. Got Suchit out in the very first over. But thereafter, these two youngsters in Tanay Shah and Smith Shah as well have resurrected the innings for the Turf Blasters, and they find themselves in a beautiful position. 62 is where they find themselves at the end of 8 for the loss of just 1 wicket. They're in a commanding position at the present moment. Our going to be Jinane to continue. Coming around the wicket as opposed to over the wicket like he did in the first over. Out the line of off stump, but he's fetched it from out there and played it down to deep square leg for a single. If Turf Blasters go on to win this match from here, they'd be kicking themselves. There is a chance in the deep, but the fieldsman can't get to it, which means that Smith will pick up another couple of runs for his side. Both these batsmen not afraid to take the aerial route. There is a change in field. The fieldsman from long off is being pushed to third man. A quicker fieldsman, a youngster, which should have been the case before the over started, is now being employed. Rightly enough, that could have been a wicket for the MTM Riders had a youngster being patrolling the long off boundary. This is smart work from both these batsmen, recognizing the importance of stealing runs, the rotating strike with relative ease, picking up boundaries here and there. So clearly they're in a commanding position at the present moment. This time getting that leading edge, but falls in no man's land. Fieldsman at square leg patrolling the boundary. Jinane in the last match as well came around the wicket, picked up a few wickets. Probably more confident coming around the wicket rather than bowling over the wicket. 9 overs completed, 67 for 1 are the Turf Blasters. The spinners have somehow managed to pull things back. A bowling change, Kayur Zaveri giving way for a left arm spinner to roll his arm over. Rightly so, both batsmen are right-handed. You're much better off bowling your left arm spinner rather than exhausting your off spinners. Down the leg side will be signalled a wide. This time struck over the top, long off in pursuit, but will beat him all the way for 6. Terrific strike from the bat of Tanai. Clearly on a roll are these two and making the most of being set in the middle. Ankit not really getting his straps right. A couple of sixes, which means that Tanai and Smith are motoring along well, and the MTM riders, their shoulders drooping in disappointment. Does not come across as a frontline orthodox left arm spinner, does Ankit Shah. Penalized in the bargain. The MTM riders certainly having lost a wicket, not having lost a catch in the deep at long on, have never looked in the match thereafter. It almost seems like this partnership seems to be taking the game away from them pretty easily. They really don't need to do anything brash from here, these two. Just them standing at the wicket will get them runs. The MTM riders will keep losing hope the more this partnership continues. This partnership, another boundary coming from the bat of Tanai Shah. Clearly he's taken a liking to the left arm spin of Ankit Shah and has clearly taken him apart. From all the three Shahs in operation at the present moment, Tanai seems to be having the upper hand. That dot completes the 10th over. 84 for 1 are the Turf Blasters. "66 runs is what they require in the next half. They have 9 wickets in the kitty, do the Turf Blasters. So clearly dominating at the present moment thanks to this terrific partnership of 78, beating the partnership between Vivek Dalal and Bhavin Salvi in the first innings. Both Tanai and Smith have looked terrific at the crease. Suchit, Ambish and company will feel very comfortable, relieved to see this kind of a performance coming from the youngsters. Top stuff from Jinane, beating the bat comprehensively. Lapse in concentration there for Tanai. He's looked good so far. Was looking to be a little too cute for his liking. This time goes big. Keyur Zaveri underneath it. Takes it. Spills it in the end. Unexpected from Keyur Zaveri. Nothing going their way at the present moment. MTM riders not helping themselves out with the way they are fielding. 2 catches, one off the bowling of Keyur, now off the bowling of Jinane going down. Keyur. Zaveri this time coming under the cush. MTM riders have themselves to blame. Just before this partnership could have developed, there was an opportunity when Keyur was bowling in his very first over. That was grasped. This could have probably just given some hope. Once again in the air, mid-wicket, peddling back. We'll see it sail over his head all the way for 6. Terrific ball striking here from Tanai Shah, who seems to be on fire. This is terrible stuff from the MTM riders. They seem to be having butterfingers, too much bread and butter in the morning. Certainly no catches sticking, which means that the Turf Blasters would fancy their chances from here. After the end of 11, 93 for 1 are the Turf Blasters. Over to you, DJ. Maulik Shah, the new bowler, into the attack, starts off with the ball short and wide. Smith would be aggrieved that he missed out on that occasion. There was no third man employed, which meant that he clearly missed out. Extra bounce defeating him. Probably was looking to hit it a little too hard. Beaten in his endeavor. This is much better from Smith, giving maximum strike to Tanay, who's got some terrific ball striking form. Seems to be hitting the ball well at the present moment. Tanay, Smith has done a terrific anchoring job from the other end. MTM riders certainly haven't arrived, barring that one partnership. They really have looked slack. On the cricket field. The bowlers did not do too badly. Vivek played beautifully with the bat, picked up the big fish in Suchit, and then the fielders thereafter have certainly let the MTM riders down. Jinein putting one down of his own bowling, Keyur dropping one. These are big names for the MTM riders. They are heavily reliant on these names, Keyur Zaveri, Jinein Shah. They don't expect this from this unit. In between, a quick single stolen. Could have been a tight call with a better return from the fieldsman at square leg. This is a top shot from Smith on this occasion, opening his shoulders, driving that on the up, beating the sweeper into the boundary. Not the easiest of shots to play on the up. Wasn't a delivery that was pitched right up, but he had to make the pace on the ball, and he did that with relevant ease. Off the back foot, mistiming that one, looked out of shape, was in no position to pull that ball. Got a bit of an outside edge. That single completes the 12th. 100 comes up for the Turf Blasters with that single, and drinks out onto the field. Whilst the players have a drink, you two grab a cup of tea, coffee back home, and we'll be back with you after a couple of minutes. Till then, our DJ will entertain one and all. Jinane Shah to continue. Picks up a single, does Smith. Off the back foot, inside edge. This time worked away on the onside, will pick up a single. Keyur, Vivek, Jinane, these are names that are senior statesmen for the MTM riders. Frustration letting in, pushing that one through in disgust, Jinane. They say catches win matches, but the way MTM riders have gone, they have given up well before the result has concluded. As you can see, there is so much of purchase in the wicket. Turn, bounce. There was everything once you hit the right length, which is good length. But somehow the MTM riders haven't quite arrived. 106 after 13 overs for the loss of 1 wicket at the Turf Blasters. Over to you, DJ. Played a terrific knock of 56 of just 40 balls, did Tanay, before he departed, almost doing the job for his side. Greeted to a standing ovation from his teammates, rightly so. They recognize the importance of this knock. They lost Suchit Shah, their senior statesman, and thereafter the way Tanay and Smith have batted clearly speaks volumes of the character of the team, and they have made their teammates proud. "44 runs required of 41 balls for the Turf Blasters, almost a run a ball. Eight wickets left in the tank. Driven through the offside. Fieldsman in the deep puts one hand. Is that Jinin? The man with the golden arm today dropped one off his own bowling. Keyur dropped a catch off his bowling. I mean Jinin's. Put one hand out there and stopped a ball that was hit like a tracer bullet. I remembered the day last year, this was in the first edition, when Jinin took a couple of catches for the Kusum Warriors. That time he used to play, and he took one with his right hand, one with his left hand, all in one match. And I believe his efforts with the ball, in the field in that match, helped Kusum Warriors win that match. This time representing the MTM Riders, Jinin Shah. Walk back towards much to the of the MTM Riders, and the Turf Blasters lose their third. Nirmit Kapadia picks up a single of his very first ball, getting off the mark. Keyur Zaveri brought back into the attack. It's going to be their captain Ambish Shah to face up for the first time. Probably got a glove or something, that's why no signal from the umpire. This time off the back foot, looked good on that back foot drive. Did Ambish Shah, will pick up a couple of runs. Played away down towards short fine leg for a single. Leg by is being signaled there. That's why the ball did not beat the fieldsman at short fine leg. "37 runs required of 32 balls for the Turf Blasters, 7 wickets in the tank." Full toss, hit straight back to Keyur. Sign of a new batsman in. Right up there in the block hole, Kaur attempting to bowl a fuller length, probably looking to york the batsman, was attempted in the previous ball, which went a little too fuller. That dot completes the 15th over. This could be close, but they'll pick up a single. What's funny is there some sloppy work in the field by the fieldsman at extra cover yielded them another run. So 2 runs added to the total. 34 runs required of 29 balls for the Turf Blasters. Played away gently on the onside, running the first one hard. Ambish looks so fit. The way he comes into bowl, the way he bats, the way he runs, everything about him is so imperative that the youngsters learn from him, that even at this age it's so important to remain fit so that you can do justice to your side. Leads by example, does Ambish. Worked away on the onside. A single is what he'll get for his efforts. The Turf Blasters today, most things going right for them. They won the toss, elected to bowl first, justified their choice. They had MTM riders 29 for 5. Thereafter, the MTM riders found 2 valiant partners in Vivek Dalal and Bhavin Salvi, who resurrected the innings, stitched up a 77-run partnership, which enabled the MTM riders to reach a respectable 149. Through the offside, should pick up another boundary. Terrific timing, extra cover drive, looks so beautiful when it comes off, and Ambish playing one of the shots that we'll remember for a long time. .24 balls, 27 required, 4 overs to go. In the driver's seat are the Turf Blasters. .123 for 3 at the end of 16 are the Turf Blasters. Over to you, DJ. Kaur Zaveri back into the attack and picks up Nirmit Kapadia. Beaten all ends up by a Yorker. Attempted the same thing in the last two balls of his last over. This time managed to beat the bat of Nirmit Kapadia. Was looking to go big whilst there wasn't any requirement for such a shot. His eyes would have lit up seeing that ball right up there, but deceived in length. Full marks to Keyur Zaveri for deceiving the bat of Nirmit Kapadia, and the Turf Blasters lose their fourth. Struck on the pads. Umpire reckons going down the leg side. Signaled a dead ball. Not too sure why that was the case. Wickets coming probably a little too late here for the MTM Riders. A lackluster performance in the field for the MTM Riders. Did not do themselves any favors. If I'm not wrong, 4 catches went down in that partnership that took place between the two youngsters in Tanay Shah and Smith Shah. Played down to long off for a single. Ambish probably wants to keep strike for the next over. Not too sure if that's the way forward. So a maiden over. Maiden wicket as well for Keyur Zaveri. 17 overs gone by. .27 now required in the next 3 overs. All of a sudden this match has come alive. 18 balls, 27 required. 6 wickets in the tank for the Turf Blasters. All of a sudden the MTM Riders might just start to believe that they're in with a slight chance if they can keep the new batsman on strike. You never know. Ambish all of a sudden not taking that single in the last over. Ambish funnily picks up a single of the first ball. If he had done that in the last over, it wouldn't have mattered too much, because denying a run I don't think will help. You have wickets in the tank. Darshil Zaveri getting an inside edge. Terrible stuff from the bowler. Maulik Shah completely missing the stumps. What's worse is Keyur out there at mid-off did not have proper backing from the wicketkeeper, but a couple of runs added to the total. for the Turf Blasters. They won't complain. Through the offside, there is a fieldsman out there in the deep. Will keep it down to a single. Not quite sure what Ambish did in the last over. Wanted strike, took a single of the very first ball. I don't know how much sense that made. You have wickets in the tank, so you need to keep picking up whatever runs you can get. Going over the top, there is a fieldsman out there who misjudged it completely. Instead of running in, waited expecting the ball to come to him. Now these are the half chances that you need to take as a fielding unit, because everything's not going to come down your throat. You got to make things happen for yourself. Had MTM riders taken their chances, you never know. Inside edge, a single is what he'll get. Darshil Zaveri. 13 balls, 21 runs required. All of the sudden, the Turf Blasters have played themselves into a situation where they're going to need a couple of boundaries. Outside line of off stump, a dot to end the over, which means in the last 2 overs, 21 is what the Turf Blasters require. All of the sudden, the game has come to life, and the MTM riders believe that something can happen from here. The match all of the sudden tilting in favor of the MTM riders. As you can see, cricket is a funny game, and the ebbs and flows. Vivek Dalal into the attack, heaved away on the onside, deep square leg, will keep it down to a single. Not getting his timing right, running the first one hard, entertaining thoughts to come back for the second. There was no 2 there. Ambish slipping probably would be a blessing in disguise that he slipped, because he was looking to come back for the second. It could have been carnage had they have done so. 10 balls, 19 to get, pressure mounting on the 2 batsmen. Swung away on the onside, all the way for 6. Terrific strike from Darshil Zaveri, much to the delight of the Turf Blasters, players, supporters, fans. That hit will certainly ease some nerves back home as well. For all our viewers watching, this is exactly why we watch the game of cricket. Pushing Darshil, this could be tied, but the throw was alright. which meant that the efforts of Ambish Shah does not go in vain. And the Turf Blasters all of the sudden with that one huge hit, clawing back once again into the match. 8 balls, 11 to get. Swung away on the onside. Fieldsman, both misfielding. This could be tight, but the throw is not quite accurate. MTM riders haven't helped themselves today. The catches they've put down, the lackluster effort in the field has certainly let themselves down. Seven balls, 9 required. This ball is a very crucial ball going into the last over. It will be Darshil Zaveri on strike. Swings, Fieldsman at short fine leg, getting underneath it, pouches it. This is terrible stuff from the MTM riders. What's worse, to add salt to the wounds, it goes all the way for 4, which means the Turf Blasters need just 5 runs in the last over. And the MTM riders are clearly not helping their cause in the field. Last over, 5 runs to get. New bowler Murgesh Shah being introduced into the attack. Not too sure whether these are the right tactics. Only time will tell. It's going to be Ambish, the captain of the Turf Blasters, to face up. Played away on the onside. Will pick up a single. 5 balls, 4 runs to get. Darshil still fortunate to be out there. Got a top edge in the last ball. But the fieldsman at short fine leg did not take his opportunity. This is terrible mix-up. Darshil will have to walk back to the sheds. 4 balls to get. 4 balls, 4 runs to get. And the Turf Blasters certainly are making this match interesting. This time through the offside. What could have been 3 balls, 4 runs will now be 3 balls, 3 runs. This is terrible and sloppy from the MTM Riders. It almost feels like they don't really know how to field. Disgusting efforts in the field by the MTM Riders so far. Superbly struck. Turf Blasters go home. MTM Riders have certainly gifted the match away to the Turf Blasters, who have completely taken the invitation and have gone home, beating the MTM Riders in the end. The match became interesting towards the end, but the MTM Riders, they will be extremely disappointed. Clearly, if you want to know how to lose a game, a cricket game, you just watch the MTM Riders fielding. And the Turf Blasters certainly would be delighted with the effort they've put in with the bat, with the ball. And they beat the MTM Riders in the end. Won this encounter by 5 wickets with 2 balls to spare. And the Turf Blasters delighted, elated with their efforts. On the other hand, MTM Riders will be dejected, disappointed. They only have themselves to blame with the way they have played. Could we have the two teams, please, for the presentation ceremony quickly? In between, I would like to take the opportunity to invite my presentation party for this afternoon. Could I please have Mr. Tushar Shah from Smith Engineering? He has